What you say? Don't be shy. Just feel it and feel free. I know you came to have a good time. We about to get started. We about to get loose. We about to do what we came to do.
Good morning. Are you ready? Hey. All right. Feel it and feel free.
All right. Come on.
Good morning. Good morning. Today is the 26th of June. It's a Monday. It's 10 a.m. You're here with me, WBM, William Bryant Miles, on Wake Up with WBM. We're in our third season and we have so much show for you today. I cannot contain myself or stop yelling for whatever reason, so I'm just going to keep yelling the whole show. Is that all right? I kid, children. I'm not going to yell the whole show, but I do feel the need to keep yelling right now. I'm so excited. For the first time in a long time, I'm waking up on a Monday feeling rejuvenated. I have energy. I went to sleep at a respectable hour, kind of. I was not sloshed or hungover or any of those crazy things that impede progress. So I'm excited about Monday. Good morning to all of you all. I see all your mornings coming in, your likes, your prides, and all of that stuff. And I'm just so happy to be with you guys. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? We shall. So first things first, sins of the weekend. I think I mentioned this on Friday. One of my dearest, bestest friends, Carmen, had a birthday. So we just spent the weekend celebrating that, doing fun stuff. I will say, it's been the first time in a long time, this happened on Friday night, where I've had cocktails, and I've gone out, right? I drink, I enjoy alcohol. I think it's fun and fine. But this is the first time in a long time where I went in with the game plan of like, I'm just be responsible. And I just blinked and I was irresponsible. You know what I mean? And by irresponsible, I mean I just maybe had a little more than I intended on. But I think somebody slipped a Mickey in my vodka because it was just really, really intense. But I was able to heal. You know, coconut water changes lives. And I was able to just start anew on Saturday and make a different and better choice. So here we are. So that was a good thing. Moving forward, the reason that we're all here, how many of you guys watched the BET Awards? Tap like if you saw that. So I'm going to be honest. I fell asleep on half of them in the middle. There's a whole middle section that I just blacked out on. So I had to watch some of the performances. So if there was anything that was particularly what's the word I'm looking for? Anything that was particularly in the moment, in that middle of the show, I didn't see it because if it wasn't on the performances, the highlights reel, or any of that stuff, then you guys will tell me about it. But what can I say? I will say this, that the BET Awards, you know, I do appreciate that they give us something to look forward to in June, separate from the whole rest of award season. The summer and the autumn is kind of like forgotten. People just, I guess they're making the work that gets acknowledged. I don't really know what's happening. So I do appreciate that BET has decided to give us something to look forward to in this middle of the year. I see the growth. BET. I see the growth, and I think that you guys as a network are in a really interesting place. We got the Quad, you also have Being Mary Jane, and some other shows that show that you guys are moving, the New Edition movie, that you guys are moving towards high quality content. And so I'm really, really excited about that. We'll get to that, Brianna. I am really excited about that. Now comes the hard work. And that hard work is maybe getting some production personnel who can make things happen properly. The little bit of show that I did catch live, I see what's MC Light calling out Yara Shahidi, but then Issa Rae walks out, and then it just was a mess. And then during SZA's performance, they had to start it twice, like that whole moment of the show. And then Leslie Jones, don't know if she's vamping, if she's in or if she's out, she's coming or she's going. So I'm just going to start there with Mother Leslie. Leslie Jones. So first of all, I'm happy for you, girl. I'm happy that you're having this moment. I'm happy that BET, is doing what other outlets have not done, which is give you a chance to really elevate, yourself and be out there. I wasn't happy with the performance though. And I felt like it was so one note. Like she just kept yelling at me, which is kind of why I started the show the way I did today. She was just yelling at me the whole time. And that first look, I didn't like. The little red pantsuits, the variations on it. I like the jumpsuit. I like the red pantsuit. Red is a great color on her. I thought pants, like, that was really smart. She could still move around the stage. She could still do all her physical stuff or whatever. She could be in a Little Yachty with Little Yachty. But I felt like the jokes were falling flat. I feel like she never was sure-footed. Some of the jokes I think were there, like a couple of things I did laugh at, but I just think that she was never sure-footed. And so because she wasn't sure-footed, the room couldn't really respond comfortably to her and warm to her and really go on that ride. And then you couple that with the technical gaffes and everything else that was going wrong. I think it just made it really challenging. It made for a really challenging situation. It made it really challenging for her to shine, and it was unfortunate. I wouldn't necessarily invite her back. I'm trying to think what would be a good show. Maybe it was too much show for her too soon, because Leslie, she's a comedian, of course, and she's this SNL girl, but does she have a lot of experience with like hosting? Like, I don't know, and I just felt like she maybe needed a straight man or something. Like, I just think that she wasn't grounded, right? Like, she just never felt grounded to me, and that it just was unenjoyable for me as the viewer. I'm sure that check cleared though, so I think Leslie will be okay this morning. I thought the pre-recorded, Brianna said she thought the pre-recorded stuff was better than live material, but still underwhelming. You see, I don't even remember anything pre-recorded. I must have slept through that. It must have all been in the middle, because I just remember her opening monologue with the knee brace and all of that stuff, and I just felt like that was challenged. It was like, is the brace real? I didn't enjoy it. And then Little Yachty and the Yachty and the end of and DJ Khaled, get off the fucking stage. Like, that was so crazy when he just was like, I'm a father. When I say Assad, y'all say Khaled. Like, I really enjoy the fact that he is, as a go hard for father as he is for everything else, and he's taking this absolutely seriously, and that child is clearly loved beyond measure. I enjoy all of that. But time and the place. And I just had a thought, like, I hope Assad Khaled is gay. How fucking brilliant will that be? Because this is going to challenge folk to really stand up, gay or trans, or, just something on the colored spectrum, colorful spectrum. Because I think that would just really challenge this, people to actually not only love their children, and this is on this here Pride Month. It would be like, not only are you going to be like, love the child, hate the sin, or have some passive embracing. There's no way you could go from being the hype man that Khaled is to not being the hype man for the cause, for the community. So, and I'm not saying that I don't think that he will. I'm saying that this would be a great opportunity. If he does, because then it would just, we're talking 5-10 years down the line, but it would increase visibility for and challenge the ideas that people fight with every day about what is acceptable to be gay, to be straight, to be butch, to be femme, to be any combination thereof, when everybody just wants to be alive and happy. So yeah, but that performance, I liked the set for that Khaled number because it really transformed. Like, I really felt like I was on that boat. But I'm just old. Like, I'm going to be the old person in the room that says that, like, all this fucking music sounds the same. I felt like there were a lot of male performers. I felt the show was a little boy heavy when it came to performers. That's problematic for me. Where are the singing girls at? Like, and I know that things come and go. And there was a time when it was only singing girls, but like, where is that right now? We need it. And I just feel like everything kind of sounds the fucking same. And just watching people rap, half-heartedly over tracks of them rapping quarter-heartedly over tracks of them rapping half-heartedly was just like problematic. And Trey Songz, Brianna says Trey Songz had horrible sets and staging. So that Trey Songz number, first of all, he didn't look that great. Like he definitely was not. If you're gonna come out there and give speaking of half-hearted, a half-cooked performance like that, then you need to just be like, the sex god of all humanity, which was not what he presented. And he has the capacity for it. I don't know about all humanity, but he's an attractive guy, but he just did not present that. And can we talk about that girl, the first number where the girl clearly did not rehearse, did not have choreography, nor did she have the skill set for required to improvise. So she was just standing there looking lost, and just until she got to the pre-negotiated beats that they had decided, like, her marks where she's going to stand. I was so upset with that. I'm like, who is casting these people? And then she tweeting out, and her Instagram is popping, talking about hashtag background, hashtag lead dancer, hashtag something, BET Awards, hashtag slay, hashtag blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I just want to know where all the people that are like, all this technique we're teaching the kids, where are they using it? Where are they using it? We doing all this stuff, Chance the Rapper putting all this money so they could go to after school programs and learn arts. But what the fuck for? Because you're just going to get on stage and just be a stripper improvising and doing backward rolls across the Chase Lounge with Trey Songz. You don't need to go to ballet school for that. DTH ain't going to help you with that. Alvin Ailey's not going to help you with that. Why the fuck we wasting our money? I walk past the sign telling the kids they need to learn sight singing at the church, join this choir so they can learn sight singing. For what? You get on the fucking radio. These people can't sing. They're not doing anything. The fuck? Like, I just don't understand. So, yeah, that was a big problem for me, Trey Songz. Speaking while we're in the voice lane, Mother Mary J. Blige. Hoy. So Mary, for me, this moment that she's in, I just feel like we have to be kind because she's going through so much, and mere mortals would crack under pressure, and she is fighting back tooth and nail. So I stand with Mary. I love that she was like, I'm going to be 50 and I look great. I have a great figure. I look good. So I'm going to be on stage glittered and good, and letting this man know that, like, you lost all of this. I love that. The Voice. Now, she was one of the performances that I watched this morning because I fell asleep, and you guys had let her have it about The Voice. But I felt like Mary's voice was very standard Mary. Like, did she sound amazing? No. But I was waiting for more. The way y'all was talking about Mary, I was waiting for the surprise. I was like, Mary J. Blige has never been a great singer. Like, we don't listen to Mary J. Blige records for her to sing gloriously. Like, she is not Audra McDonald or Whitney Houston or any of the people whose their voices. She's a storyteller. She's like Billie Holiday. Like, that's why we listen to her. She makes us sad and we like it, or she makes us feel like we can overcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we listen to Mary for. And I felt like she delivered that. What I did have a problem with is Mary looks great. Mary looks like a great looking, like, 45-year-old, right? Like, she looks 45, but it's like, you look good. Like, if I get to 45 and like that, I'm okay. A$AP Rocky looks about 17. So it looked like a mother and son. And then, Mary's an awkward dancer. And so it really looked like somebody had brought their mother out to their rap concert. And it was just weird. Like, the first part of the song I was fine with when it was just Mary and her little silver number. I embraced it, and I just, I thought that, fine, Mary. But once they had A$AP out there and she was just on the side, just bopping off the beat, it was just awkward. And I like, that was what was uncomfortable for me, because it was like, I didn't see your age in this way, but now you made me look at it in a different way, and I can't unsee it. Like, you're 50. You look like his mom. And not because you look old. Like, it looked like he was like, I got a hot mom. My mom is hot. My mom held me down. Come out on stage with me. And that's what Mary was giving me. She was giving me mom on stage with her son. And for me, that wasn't particularly exciting. It was a little uncomfortable. But you know what? I still stand with Mary. I think this is a great moment she's in. I think that she is she's in a certain class where like she's a legend. I feel like Mary J. Blige has transcended into icon status, and to me, icon status is like Diana Ross, um, Patty, Aretha. Obviously, she's younger than them, but or she's younger than they are, but she's definitely an icon, and so she'll always have a seat at the table, and she will always be welcome and be invited to get on stage, whether it's with a young person, an older person, someone her age, whatever. She looks fabulous. She sounded how she always sounds. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just go ahead and give her. I'm deciding now I'm gonna just rate these people. I'm gonna give her a B. She gave me a B. A B. I feel like you get a B in school when the teacher's like, "This is what I know you could do," right? Like it wasn't bad, but there clearly was an opportunity to do more that you didn't seize. So B for Mary. Trey Songz, he gets a D. I'm gonna give him an F. Actually, I just felt like Trey Songz was pulling one of those stunts where he thought he could just write the report the night before, and it just didn't come together. It just did not happen. This wasn't his night. The time got away from you. Maxwell, I thought looked great, but not. I don't know, something about it that I didn't like. I think maybe because when he's performing with shades, it's hard for me to really be welcomed in. Like it felt like there was a disconnect, but he's always had that for me a little recently, like a little disconnect from him in the audience. But you know, he did his Maxwell thing, and that was great. I would give him a B as well. Audra said yes, absolutely, and F was earned by Trey. Yeah, exactly. These people earn the grades. I'm giving them what they earned. This is not coming from me. These are the grades that they earned. Who else performed? SZA. So I felt bad for SZA because this was supposed to be her little breakthrough moment, and then, you know, the fucking sound messed up. So I give her an A for composure because I felt like when she came back in, she was ready. Like I feel like some other younger performers would be shaken up by that, like, you know, your big moment, and then they mess it up, and she'd be like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening, I don't know what's happening. So I give her an A for composure. I felt like she too was a little insular. I'm noticing the thread, you know, everybody's into themselves, and like, you know, singing over her shoulder, singing upstage and herself a little bit, which I think was from the nerves and stuff. So I would give her a strong B minus. I liked her the sound, the color scape, the green, I thought was lush and inviting. So that was that. I agree, Trey is not a live performer. Maxwell has been singing us the same song for 20 years. Maxwell has definitely been singing us the same song for 20 years, but I don't get mad at singers when they do that. Like, I feel like I'd rather you, if you know that that's the only song you can sing well, then do that. As long as you understand that, like, your audience is going to continue to decrease. There'll always be the one girl that's like, I love that Maxwell song, and so sing me that song. And we'll all come back at different points in our lives when we want that song, but you have to know that we're not going to all go on a long-term ride with you with just one song. But that's fine. Do what you do well. I can't get mad at you for doing it well. You know, that there's somebody for that song. Who else was out there? So Tamar. First of all, that wig on the red carpet, like, the whole Braxton family, as a rule, their wigs are just so baffling to me, because even with the bankruptcies, even with the Grammys being repossessed, even with everything that has gone left in that family, even with Tawanda just being there, and I know that Tawanda can make life hard for a lot of people, even with all of that stuff happening, they have to have access to at least some decent wigs. Right, and I don't believe that their wigs are cheap. I just think they're bad, and that's what I get confused about. It's like they always look super wiggy, they always look super plasticky, and just like, you know. And so I just was so confused by that red carpet wig. That said, her performance wig, I almost liked it, except this is what I didn't like about Tamar's performance wig. Tamar clearly did not communicate with her hairstylist about how she intended to perform. And what I mean by that is, if she told them that, like, I'm giving you the drag queen performance of all time, I'm about to go out here and lip sync for my life, and I'm not even wearing shoes, like, that's how ham I'm about to go on this number, I imagine they would have used different products, or maybe not plastic hair, or something, so that it just wouldn't be stringing across her face for the whole fucking number, just wisping, and just, you know what I mean? Like, And again, I get it, it's hair, this is what happens. But this is also why, like, you're on stage on the BET Awards and you're not just a regular person, because regular people don't have access to the products and the tools and the time and the preparation that it takes to set a wig in place like that, because they're out here living their life. You had one fucking job, and that was to just perform. And that wig had one job, which was to go where you needed it to go when you slipping it and slinging it and swapping it and whopping it. And she clearly didn't tell the hairdresser that. And so the hair wasn't set for that. And it was just really unfortunate, because I enjoyed the draggery of it. Like, I felt like that was Tamar finally being like, I used to say I want to be Beyonce, but I just wanted to let you know I really just want to be a drag queen. And I just wanted to lip sync and slam on the floor. That's really all I've ever wanted to do. And now I get to do it. As for the, I don't even know what to call that, the vignettes happening around her, I'm like, I was so confused, because it kept unfolding so slowly and poorly that it was like, did y'all just have an open call? Like, we need 4 couples and 4 single ladies. Couples wear black, single ladies wear red. And then you just told them to just walk out there and ladies play the other role. Like, I just did not understand what was actually happening. Why, or more importantly, why it felt like, for those of you who don't know, I studied theater at Howard, and we would have different showcases, you know, students as young people, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And it felt like something we would have done at like a freshman showcase, or like a sophomore upperclassman showcase, where we're like, we got something dope. So you're going to sing in the middle of the stage, and we're going to have a little vignette down right. And that was fine at 17, because it was like, you see the rumblings of creativity happening, but one, we're in a little black box theater. We don't have access to actual wardrobes and actual budgets and things that could have really, and projections and lighting and things that could have made that actually really, or at least a little bit interesting. It just felt so half-baked and so, again, amateurish. Like, this did not seem like somebody who grew up in the entertainment industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tamar is 10 years younger than Tony, so pretty much her teen years and all stuff, she has witnessed performance at the highest level, and that's what you come up with. Like, I was just like, girl, that is not okay. And so I was gonna give her probably like a B, for possibility of lip sync and wig mishap. I had to downgrade her for that, but then she gets knocked to a C for overall, because the vignettes were just not good. And I also didn't understand why she didn't have on shoes. Like, I feel like I needed some more. I needed to either see sooner that you didn't have on. It was like certain things weren't coming together like I needed them to do. And so I felt like if she wanted to end up with no shoes, she should have taken the shoes off, maybe threw a shoe at one of the ladies in red. But I guess in her world, the women weren't actually there. It was just very confused. It was very unclear. But I'm here if you need me to help you next time around. I'm always willing to help. I believe that you have a lot of talent and the ability to be really, really good. So that was Tamar. We spoke about SZA. Escape. I need a sip of water. I'm a little parched. So here's the thing about Escape. I enjoyed Escape growing up. Like, every song they sang in their little medley, I knew. You know what I mean? Like, I knew the songs. I knew who Escape was. That is definitely a part of my childhood. It's a part of my musical background. I enjoy it. I respect it. I might even have missed it a little bit. But it's kind of like the way I miss elementary school. I don't want to go back. I want to have the memories of being in the 5th grade. I don't ever want to be in the 5th grade again. But I do say, like, oh, those are fun days. Like, wearing shorts and getting candy and listening to Escape, playing in the schoolyard, smelling like outside. Those were all fun things that I remember. But I have no desire to relive them. And watching that Escape performance made me feel like, maybe that's how I feel about Escape. Like, that was not good. And I'm going to tell you why it wasn't good. I appreciate that, and this is there, I imagine that every group has this challenge, which is like, when you have a look that's iconic and of a certain period, how do you then, when you get back at it, or when you're doing it 30 years from now, what are you supposed to look like? You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is like TLC had a look that was so iconic, but it was also very 93. So what does TLC in 2017 look like? Because the fans want to, you know what I mean? It's like, what would that continuation, what would that evolution be? I think TLC has found some looks. Escape had that whole baggy thing, which was somewhat on trend and is also very indicative of the times. So then what does Escape in 2017 look like? Apparently, they look like fucking superhero drag queens that wore Lil Kim's old costumes, I guess. Because that was what they were wearing. Which is fine, because I get that they weren't going to come out here in flannel, but I might have done something that gave us a head nod to the Escape of old, maybe a nice little leather suit. No, like, I just felt like there should have been some self-reference in it, you know what I mean, that would have just really allowed it to be reflective, but also fresh. That was A. So that was my first challenge with them. B, for all this fucking media these ladies was doing, they done got videos all up and down the YouTube, all up and down the Instagram. They got videos of them singing together Acapulco in the damn dressing room, and singing here and singing there and everywhere. You would think this has been in the works for 500 years. Well, them bitches sound like they just got out there for the first time together in a long time. They did not sound they didn't sound bad. It was not a bad performance, but I just feel like when you come back after 18 years apart, you have to hit it so hard. That mix, like, we need to hear that first harmony. When you hit that first harmony, it needed to be so locked in that everybody is just like, oh my God, yes. You know what I mean? Like, for y'all to not only be giving us, because it wasn't like they gave us this performance of one night only. That would have been cute for an Escape one night only. Like, if nobody would have known it was coming, and they were like, ladies and gentlemen, Escape. Boom. That performance would have been great if we had no idea it was coming, right? But since we knew it was coming, y'all trying to go book shows and be on the road and do a movie, and y'all are like a group again, that's not going to cut it. And I think part of that was the engineers, like that mixing, damn Latasha on the just sticking out like a sore thumb, just not blending at all. Just, she was like, I'm making up for all the years when I was trying to do this work and y'all didn't want me to sing. Y'all was out here making money writing for TLC, and y'all know we ain't got nothing going on here. I'ma just out-sing all y'all right now. Tiny looked like she didn't give a fuck if they came or went. Candy was tired from sitting down, and then the one on the end just had on silver. So I just didn't there was no it just never congealed for me. It did not gel. Great start, ladies. I'm actually not even going to score this performance, because I'm just going to assume that this was a dress rehearsal for y'all. And I don't know when the full show was going to be now, but it's like, I guess it's going to come. So I'm going to just wait, because I know it's been 18 years. Tiny had a baby. Y'all got kids. Y'all have a lot to deal with. And I'm also say some of it, I do think an engineer, and we know that the tech was not necessarily right at the BET Awards. I felt like that engineer could have turned down Latasha. Like, after that first time when she hit it, and she's just loud, was like, we could have turned it down or blended it or did something with it. So I was a little disappointed about that. But what can you do? What else? Who else was there? So Remy Ma. I'm glad they gave it to Remy. And I'm glad they gave it to Remy for the exact reasons that she said, which was basically like, you do get second chances in life, but you have to take your chances, right? When you get that second chance, you have to seize the opportunity. You have to be prepared. You have to be fearless. You have to be ready. And I believe that Remy Ma has been all of those things. I think that she knew that she was given a second chance with that Love and Hip Hop show, and she did what she needed to do to make everything happen for herself, for her family. You know, Papoose, if we could all get a man like Papoose, I think the world would be a much better place. Or at least a man that loves Remy and all that stuff. You know, we have a relationship like Remy and Papoose is. Not that I think Papoose is a bad person, I just don't know him personally. And yet I still talk about the relationship like I do. But whatever. But yeah, like, I felt like this was a great little a nice little ribbon, nice little icing on the cake for her with that. And of course, Nikki got him. Speaking of cakes, why did they give Lala that cupcake? That was so awkward. Like, I just felt like that was so not fully thought out. And then, bless Lala, she's such a class act, just standing there looking dumb with a cupcake. That was just, again, ill-advised. Like, who thought that through? The cupcake that wasn't lit, they didn't sing happy birthday. Like, it just, there was nothing. I felt like they could have told her happy birthday without the cupcake. And it would have been just as fine. And giving her cupcake backstage for web-only content. You know what I mean? Like, behind the scenes. Lala's birthday cake. And just have it in the bag. And she cut the cake and move on. Like, that was just, who's thinking this through? Nobody. And then there was New Edition, right? New Edition performed. And I enjoyed... So, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm just not... I don't have that connection to New Edition that every other black person seems to have. First and foremost, if you just run the numbers, I'm too young to have that connection organically. They were not the biggest thing in my childhood. I did not have older sisters that were that age or in the house with me to have had that connection. So I did know the songs because people would play them at parties and they'd be like, oh, the throwback song, Candy Girl. Oh, the throwback song, whatever. But they were not actually dominant in my childhood, unlike what some of my peers would have us to believe or have you to believe. So there's that. And, I was more New Kids on the Block, Boys to Men. Like, that was me. But anyway, I respect their place in history, enjoy it. And I'm happy, speaking of second chances, that they're having this great moment, that we're giving them their flowers now. And they look great. They sang the track great. For the BGVs. And what's the tall one in the middle? He did not ever drop that choreography. At one point, he was the only goddamn one. Y'all gotta tell me the name of the tall one in the middle who always dances. I know that's his thing, that he was the dancer one. Ain't he the nephew or whatever? But he was the only, it was one point when Bobby had done left the stage, and they slowly, because everybody, is a ham, so they're slowly peeling off, trying to come forward either to sing their solo section or to just be in the front, whatever. This dude was center stage by his goddamn self, hitting that background choreography, and I say, yes, you will be the original Michelle Williams. Ronnie, yes, thank you. You will be the original Michelle Williams, not because Michelle Williams was the best dancer, because she was the one that was always keeping that background going. Whether it was a line or a two-step, she was always keeping it going while everybody else is running around doing their thing. So I respected Ronnie for doing that at that point in time. And they look good in that white. And then when they had the little babies come out, and then the other ones, I guess they're not middle age, but then the other cast from the movie, the adult cast from the movie, I was just like, this was really exciting. I got excited to see 18 black men on stage dancing, having a good time, not being hyper masculine nor hyper feminized, just being whatever they wanted to be in that moment. Bobby Brown wanted to not wear shoes, because I don't know why Bobby Brown couldn't wear shoes. Like, why do you have to have on Jordans? Why do you have to have on the fur piece? I get it, because you're fucking Bobby Brown. Okay. You disappear for a number and you come back. It was actually quite funny. But just seeing that, like, I really did enjoy that image of, as I said, 18 black men giving you choreography. When was the last time we saw that on an award show? And not behind a female or just, just not sexualized in any way, just good old-fashioned dancing. I really enjoyed that. It spoke to me. I hope some young person somewhere gets that. If you watch the Any Heartbreak video, you will see Johnny Gill is the worst dancer. Well, he was giving you no, and he was reaching for the notes, but he got there. He had to climb up there a couple of times. But yeah, I enjoyed them. I'll give their performance overall a nice little A. I would say that's how you do a throwback, right? Like, I felt like they knew what their weaknesses were, and they covered them well, and we're still giving them some grace, and they look good, and it made me feel like nostalgic in a good way. Whereas the Escape one, I think that they were, I don't know. What did you guys think about Escape? That's one I really want to talk about, because I don't think that people are going to be honest about it in other forums. is the plural of forums? Is it fora, forum A, forum E, fori, and other forums? So I just want to know what y'all think because I felt like they weren't that great, and it made me feel like if this is what y'all coming back with, y'all, I can play the CD. It did not like. Did it make you want to hear new music from Escape? Did it make you want to buy a ticket? If you already bought a ticket for one of the concerts, were you sad that you had a ticket? Were you excited that you had the ticket? Did you want to sit through an hour? Because I don't think they're gonna give more than an hour. Did you want to sit through an hour of that? I just want to hear from you guys about that. Who else? So Little Kim was there. The funny thing about Little Kim for me is that like I'm fascinated about her and I'm worried about her. I'm fascinated by her. I'm worried about her. I'm excited for her. I'm sad for her. I have so many feelings when I like look at her body and her face and just the way that she's manipulated it. And the reason why I have so many different thoughts is that like, I think that perhaps the easiest emotion is to be sad and just be like, why did you do that to yourself? You were so pretty, like blah 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 blah. It's such a sad world that a woman feels like she has to do this to herself, that she feels like she can't just love who she is and just accept what she looks like and be grateful and be happy, right? So there's that, which is that's the sadness. The fascination for me is like, well, why did you want to do that? Like what, not just societal pressures, or let me take a step back. I think that the fascination comes from, well, let's look at this through a different lens. Let's not say that she is deficient, right? Let's say that she is very aware of who she is, what she looks like, and she just said, I want to play with my body. Some people want to play with hair and color in the same way, the reason why men do drag is they want to play with this idea of what like performance and use the human body in service of that. Let's say that she's thinking of it that way. Then I'm fascinated to be like, so then these are the choices that you would make. Like this is the gold standard for you, and so yeah. And then I'm also like, Lil' Kim was a visionary, right? Like what Lil' Kim did to her body is what all the girls are doing now. Like before there was Kim K, Lil' Kim was out here trying to be a fucking Barbie doll, and I gotta give her props for that. And I don't think we've ever given her the respect that she deserves for being a pioneer for body manipulation and bad plastic surgery. Like, I have to tip our hats to that. Like, we cannot stand here and let all these girls be on Instagram dying from ass injections without saying that Kim did it first. Like, I just think that would be unfair and would be doing her a gross disservice. And I think that, like, as these, I don't know if Lil' Kim, would y'all say Lil' Kim is a legend? I mean, and what I'm talking about legend is like, like that status I was talking about before, like with Mary and all those other ladies. Is she in that pantheon? If not, what would she need to do to get there? And she is there, then I feel like we got to make sure that we big up our legends. I think sometimes we forget that all these people are knocking at 50, which means they're pushing into the final half of their lives. And we got to start bigging them up. As we saw with Prodigy, people die every day. And as Tyrese gave us that sermon, which was so Tyrese, yeah. So those are my thoughts. Superhero drag queens nailed it for me. So I guess everybody's in agreement that Escape maybe needs to try again. They need to talk to, I feel like whoever is in charge of lineup changes aside, like that, I feel like in Vogue, they need to talk to Escape about how do you get the band back together. Like that is an important lesson that they can learn from Escape, because Escape did have everybody up there. But Escape needs to talk to En Vogue and be like, how do y'all translate what was hot in 1992 into the future? I saw En Vogue in 2010 in London, and it was the original lineup. And like that performance was the kind of thing where you're like, I wish I was back in elementary school, because those voices were there. And En Vogue was obviously always the sexy girls, so I think that's always easier to translate, because they're sexy across all times. What is challenging though is that like all the women in En Vogue don't have the same bodies as they did when they were 21. They've had children. it's 20 years ago. Maybe they just like to eat now. I don't know. And they don't look bad, but they, Maxine, for instance, who used to be snatched, is not that anymore. But they all still found ways to dress appropriately and still sexy. And what I mean by appropriately is appropriate for their body type, accentuating the things that they would consider assets and minimizing things that they might consider liabilities. And so I thought that like maybe whoever helped In Vogue with that is probably available and can help Escape, because it was a chop. It was a chop for me. Like Escape. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe I'll watch it one more time. But for me, it was kind of just not on the level for it to have been talked about as much as it was. I think that's what really did them in my book, is that if they would have just showed up, it'd have been fine. But they have been working on this. And it's like, really? And apparently they're going to have a reality show now too, and they're going to be on the Real Housewives. This is just too much. So I'm done with them. Michelle agrees. Well, Michelle said, yeah, they were always a little more polished, talking about In Vogue. So who else did I miss? Oh, Lil Wayne and Chance the Rapper. And me and Chance go together, and so I was really excited for him. We celebrated last night. It was fine. It was fun. But isn't me, or is Lil Wayne kind of like a cockroach? Like I looked at him on stage last night. I was just like, he just is like a little roach. But I don't know the man personally though, so maybe I shouldn't say that about people. But yeah, I just felt like it was a lot of males performing. The little young girl, Jessie, whatever her name is, I can't remember the youth spotlight. Oh, can we talk about this? Before we go, I gotta talk about one thing. That damn Chloe and Halle. Am I the only person that does not like them? I don't like them. I do not know these women. I do not like these little girls. But they bother me so much. I don't know what it is about them, but like I am so physically, emotionally, actively irked by them. And I don't know why. There's just an air of like smug around them that I just don't like. Like, first of all, this is BET's fault, I suppose, but like, if y'all knew Chloe and Halle were going to accept Beyonce's award, why do y'all have them in fucking Jerusalem? So now I gotta watch these girls walk hand in hand in these fucking matching dresses, slow as the fuck, from the fucking the mezzanine through the whole damn place. And because they're so smug, in my estimation, they don't give a fuck, and so they're taking a sweet little time, probably writing a damn song that's gonna be so boring and smug, on their way up to the microphone. And then they're going to have a whole 20-minute preamble before they even read the ladies' remarks, which would just like, first of all, Beyonce, you ain't never been, has Beyonce, I feel like the last time Beyonce was at a BET Awards was when she was fucking sliding across the stage on her back. Am I wrong? When she was singing Deja Vu with the glitter on her stomach. Like, Beyonce, you don't see it for the BET Awards. You never have. We all know that, and we're fine with that. They keep giving them to you, and that's okay. And wasn't that the damn Viewer's Choice Award? Like, that's the irony. But it's like, you don't see it for these awards, and that's fine. So we would have been fine with, I would have been fine with MC Light being like, as y'all know, Beyonce is currently home with her babies. She sends her regards. I would have been fine with that. We did not need Chloe or Halle. Ugh. Oh, yeah, she opened last year with Kendrick. But before that, no, because Beyonce, she's not always there. Beyonce will phone in a performance. Beyonce, when she was at, what was the one where she, don't do me, the one where, where was that? At Glastonbury, where she just was performing at Glastonbury, was like, I guess BET, y'all could watch. You forgot about that. Beyonce snubs she snubs them a lot. Don't do me, but okay, fine. She was there last year. I feel like they were groomed by Beyonce's people for that acceptance thing. So far, I've enjoyed their music, get into their music. I heard them. My thing is, I remember them before Beyonce, before they were attached to Beyonce, and they always seemed a little annoying to me. And then I think that, like, they just seem a little bratty. Like, they just seem very smug and entitled. They're talented, they're beautiful. I'm assuming they're smart girls. I don't know them personally. But, though they just annoy me so much. And okay, y'all are saying that Beyonce is always there. Well, I just remember Glastonbury sticking out in my head, and I was like, damn, she was like, I ain't coming, but I guess BET y'all can watch. So maybe I'm wrong. Fine, it happens. Whatever. Beyonce is always there. And that's that. But I'm showing my age because I don't get into Chloe and Halle. What I did appreciate was I couldn't tell if it was Yara or the girls that were with her, but you could hear them on the microphone because BET Awards. And so they're like, oh my God, Chloe and Halle. And because it took them so damn long to get up there, they had a whole conversation about it. They're like, oh my God, I love them so much. Oh my God, Chloe and Halle. So I appreciated that moment that like whoever that was fangirling was able to fangirl. I want people to be happy and have a good time, but I just would be, and since I want people to be happy, I'm people and I want to be happy, and happiness for me does not involve Chloe and Halle. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And their music, even like their videos and stuff, it just is a little, I feel like they're a little overwrought. Like, I don't believe anything from them feels authentic. That's what it is. They feel overwrought and inauthentic. Like, I feel like it's like that fake cerebral, where it's like you do not have that many thoughts. You just think people want you to think about it that much. And so that's what it is with them. But they're also children, and so they can grow and evolve and change, and so can my opinion of them. Or it can't. I think we'll both be fine either way. So yeah, with that was me for the BET Awards. That's what I have for you guys today. It's a Monday, which means that it's Motivation Monday, and I'm just gonna defer to Remy Ma, and just let you guys know that yeah, you can get second chances, but you gotta take them. You gotta be ready for them. You know what I mean? You have to be ready for them. You have to be. We're given second chances only so that we can improve upon that which we messed up the first time. It's not just so we can continue to be shitty. You know, and so if you improve, then you'll be able to seize the opportunity. If you don't, maybe not so much. That's all I got for you kids. As always, I thank you all so much for watching. We are here every Monday and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can always catch us on demand on these good things called the internet. And you can comment. I always check in on the comments even after the live show. And that's all I got. I just want to let you guys know that life for me, it ain't been no crystal stair, but it's been rhinestoned, and I keep climbing. And I encourage each and every one of you to do the same. Choose joy, children. Have a blessed day. Bye.
What you say? Don't be shy.